So I've decided to make a video. I usually just send a link to one of the million videos on YouTube that show you how to do this, but I decided to make my own just to show you how good old BadMother tattoos and decals work. So I've got a figure, and I've got my sheet of decals, and usually I'll have, when I'm putting decals on, I'll usually have a few paintbrushes, one to use with my micro set or micro saw or both, and then another one that, or two, that I'll keep dry. I usually like one that's got a little bit of a stiff bristle to help smooth out the decal. And then I'll have tweezers, paper towel, bowl of water, and a pair of scissors is helpful. I don't have the scissors here. Okay, so here are the scissors. So I'm going to give this guy some sergeant stripes. So I'm going to cut the decal out. Sometimes I'll cut it out rough and then cut it a little bit closer. These little decals are fun to cut out. Good times. Alright, so I got my decal cut out. Hold it carefully with the tweezers. And you want to try not to hit the design too much, because these some of these decals, depends on the type, are not sealed. Like these metallic are not, they don't have sealing because it's waterproof ink, so you can scratch the ink right off if you want. So you got to be careful, you got to be very gentle with them. I dipped it in the water. If you saw it, I just dipped it in, pulled it out. If you wait a few seconds, the moisture is going to soak through the back of the paper, and it's going to loosen this decal up. And you can see it's already loose, it's already sliding off. Now, actually, what I should have done first, was put a little micro set on the guy, which I did not do. But let's do that. We'll take a little micro set. I'm going to put this on his arm right here. And part of the reason I'm doing this is using this guy is because his arm is very textured, and if this will be a little challenging. It's not a nice smooth surface. So we put it on there. You can see this is a very thin decal. Some of them are thicker, some of them are thinner, and I don't really like the way that looks. I decided I'm going to put it on his pocket. So you can still move it around a little bit as long as it's wet. Just got to be very careful because you don't want to rip it. You don't want to scratch the ink off. And that one, that right there, it conforms pretty well. That was a very thin, plus the micro set helped soften it up a little bit. Micro saw will soften it even more if you need to. This one doesn't need it because it's a pretty thin decal. And that's it. And now it's on there. You let this dry. When it's completely dry. If you don't let you see some bubbles that got stuck under there, you can use the micro saw and hit it again and try to smooth it out a little more. But you don't have to. In this case, I don't think it's going to need it because it did conform pretty nicely to the pocket on the guy. But and then when you're done with that, if you're painting the figure, you can just give him a dull coat over the decal to seal it, to make sure it doesn't get scratched off or doesn't peel off over time. Again, you don't have to. Like these ones on his helmet, I don't think I ever sealed, and they were put on there probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So anyway, that's basically how you put a decal on.